Alright, let everybody know your name, where you're from.
Greetings, mortals. I am Backbone, Dungeon Family First Generation, Generation X. I am eternal.
Alright, no doubt. Who or what inspired you to become an artist, and how did you get started?
Well, musically, the depths are deep. I was rooted more so on soul music. My father played with Johnny Taylor, Joe Tex, James Brown, Paul McCartney, just to name a few. But I remember hearing, Earth, Wind, and Fire when I was young, and the instrumentation is what drew me in. You know what I mean? But as far as hip hop, Run DMC, you know what I mean? The way that they, held the stage down and performed and controlled the crowd, real MCs. So basically, I would say Earth, Wind, and Fire and Run DMC on that grand of a scale influenced me to, do music because both bands' stage presence was beyond measure. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire with the instrumentation, Run DMC with the live hip hop set. So yeah, that's what inspired me to do this.
Alright, no doubt. Um, Let people know how far you go back with the Dungeon family, man. How you was one of the original members of the Goody Mob, and the part and the role that you played with the whole Dungeon family.
First, I would ask the people to define the word backbone, and they basically can formulate their own answer from there. But structurally, within the Dungeon family, you know what I mean? Like, I am a founding father, one of the original MCs, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of folk out here claiming Dungeon family right now, but they ain't bleeding that bloodline. But yeah, I'm one of the original Mean 15, you know what I mean? So it just started right out of high school. Like, God put us all together, you know what I mean? Thank God for Rico Wade, Sleepy Brown, and Pat, you know what I'm saying? But they took us in and allowed us to be creative. That's why no individual in the Dungeon family is the same. All of us are our own individual entities, and it's been that way since the beginning. We challenged and rubbed elbows with each other and made each other better, you know what I mean? So, original DF.
Okay. Let people know where they can go online, follow you at, check out your music.
I mean, well, I'm socially active, via Twitter, Instagram. I don't really do Facebook that much, but I'm going to get back over there with y'all. But Twitter is at backbone_DF1G, and Instagram is at backbone_DF. So, I'm on there interacting with the people every day. I mean, you can email me whatever you got with any thoughts and concerns, teambackbone90@gmail. I'm always talking to the people, but my main mission right now is evolving and changing myself so I can help other people change themselves. I'm more of a motivator. I still MC, but I'm more of a motivator now, you know what I mean? Because I want to make a change and be the change that this world needs.
Okay. So what's like with your process, you know what I mean, when you're writing and recording, as an artist? Do you jot down ideas, concepts, and then listen to music to create the music? Or do you usually listen to the instrumental and then come up with concept and ideas?
Well, basically, when I formulate a song, it's all about finding that timeless track, that track that you could get today, but you may not be able to write to it at the moment, but you'll find yourself revisiting that track months, maybe even years later. As long as the beat is eternal, the music is going to be eternal. That's why songs we made 20, 25 years ago is still relevant to this day. You know what I mean? Because we make timeless music. But when I write, I conceive from the essence. So I'll start out with thought, not just jotting down words. I want to know the direction I'm going. So when I get there, I'll feel accomplished and achieved. And I know the people will appreciate it a bit more that way.
Notice, man, with a lot of upcoming artists out of Atlanta, and the whole Dungeon family generation 1 and 2, it's a lot of spirituality with y'all music, man. What do you feel that comes from? I had an artist I interviewed earlier said it came from the slavery days. One artist said it came from being at grandma's house. She got the old tunes on, the old gospel tunes and whatnot. Like, where does that evolve from, y'all whole spirituality in y'all music?
I mean, it's really more of an emotion more so than spirituality because,
Okay.
like they said, those other artists mentioned who you interviewed earlier, that that vibration being raised by older generations. It seems today these MCs aren't being raised, not even by their first generation parents. They're raising themselves. So their ideas and principles are all over the place. This is why music doesn't have a dominant force right now. You got popular acts, but you don't have that dominant force. Hip hop as a whole is moving, yes. But in the day, you knew this year was gonna be this artist's year. You know what I mean? So we carried it out like that. But definitely being raised by generations, not only the first and the second, but great grandparents. So it's rooted in us. It's an emotion.
Okay. A lot of people say that the South took over, hip hop, mainstream wise in the early 2000s or whatnot. Um, do you feel that's true, or do you feel that the South has really always had a part and a say so in hip hop mainstream?
I mean, well, regionally, we've always had acts like the Ghetto Boys, 8 Ball, MJG, UGK. You know what I mean? Like Two Live Crew. 3-6 Mafia. Like they were always independent acts that made a lot of noise in the South before the mainstream.
Okay.
When Outkast came, they took it to that level of mainstream success. You know what I mean? And of course, we were attached to that movement because we're Dungeon Family. But that's what it really was. Like the business, the structure. They weren't just lucky. Those guys had their, they had everything in place
Okay.
and at the right time. So the South been doing what we do musically. It's just that it took the right chemistry to
Okay.
put it there to make somebody pay attention.
Okay. What kind of an add-on question? What is it about Atlanta you think that, like for the last 15, 20 years, y'all been able to continuously come out with artists? Every time you look, it's a new act, a new group, a new artist, producer coming out of Atlanta and being successful with their music. What is it about Atlanta? Because Miami might have a wave. Houston, they say had their time. Chi-Town might be popping sometimes, but Atlanta always has some good music or a good artist or someone at the forefront. What is it about Atlanta that makes it like that?
Well, basically, Atlanta is a party city.
Okay.
So you can come here and, you know, enjoy yourselves. You know what I mean? TV got it, people thinking that it's kind of soft down here. All right, get caught slipping around here. The hell let you really know what's happening in the A. So back to what we were really talking about. But Atlanta is a party city, definitely. So the influence of that everyday party spills over into the music. So every day, some young cat come up with a hit record. The club like it. Next thing you know, it touches radio. It's much easier to get the radio once it dominates in the club. Like it's taking over like that everywhere now, but
Okay.
the clubs dominated what influenced the radio here. So
Okay. What artist and what producer have you enjoyed working with the most?
without a doubt, it's organized noise. The greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? Like my homeboy Ray Murray in the back right now cooking up some pots in the A room. But yeah, man, organized noise, man. The depth of their sound is infinite. Like man got over 100,000 beats, I'm sure. Beats that'll never be heard again. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, but working with those guys, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean?